You don't need the prayer of salvation. Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to November 20th. Today we read from Romans 4 through 7. And I got stuck at Romans 4 at the beginning part. I just got stuck. It just happens. So Romans 4 and 5, the reason why I say you don't need the prayer of salvation is because of what we're going to read in a second. A little bit of context. Paul is writing to the Romans about this difference between the Gentiles and the Jews. And there's this whole debate about how the Gentiles don't deserve the gospel and Jesus and God. And it's only for the Jews because they are chosen through Abraham, through his chosen people, the Jews. Here we go. And it's about, all right, so here's the debate. And they're like debating, and he's debating in his letter, and he's like debating with himself even right here. He's like, all right, here's the thing. When people work, chapter 4, verse 4, when people work, their wages are not a gift, but something they have earned. So he respects how the natural works, but he says in verse 5, people are counted as righteous, not because of their work, but because of their faith in God who forgives sinners. So it's not through something you do, through work, through what you do. It's because of their faith in God who forgives their sin. And so he talks about this song of David. And it says, "Oh joy, the joy of those whose record the Lord has cleared of sin," in Psalms 32. And so he's like, all right, listen. Now, is this blessing only for the Jews? Or is it for the uncircumcised Gentiles as well? So he's trying to blur this line that has been clearly drawn that Jews and Gentiles are different. He's like, is this blessing only for the Jews or is it for uncircumcised Gentiles? And then he brings Abraham into the mix. Well, we have been saying that Abraham was counted as righteous by God because of his faith. So he's the father of faith. It's because of his faith. And the Bible doesn't say he is righteous because he was circumcised. It doesn't say that. It says that he is the father of faith. And it was because of his faith that he was chosen, not because he was circumcised, he was chosen, right? And he's going to talk about this here. But how did this happen? Was he counted as righteous only after he was circumcised, or was it before he was circumcised? Clearly, God accepted Abraham before the circumcision, before this thing that he did. It wasn't because of the work of circumcising that he became righteous. It was before that God accepted Abraham. Circumcision was a sign that Abraham already had faith. So it's about already having the faith. And so, all right, here's the thing. He already had it before. It's not a thing that you do something, bam, you're saved. It's like you do this thing, bam, righteous. It's already there, and it was already there. And so listen, here's why I say the prayer of salvation, you don't need it. Here's why I say it. And it's because of the same concept of the faith beforehand. So here's a little story. I was chatting with my mom, and when she was saved and she wanted to get baptized, and this was different for me because I was, I grew up in the church, and so it was different. But for her, she was already my mom, so she was older. We went to church. She encountered Jesus and encountered God, and she's like, I want to get baptized. The Bible says get baptized. I want to go get baptized. She encountered Jesus and wanted to go get baptized, and she had full well knowing of God and who God was, and wanting to obey the Bible and get baptized. And so somebody at this baptism, she said that somebody at this baptism was like, well, you want to get baptized? Wow, that's awesome. So soon. Did you already receive Jesus in your heart? And she's like, what? It's like, yeah, did you already do the prayer to receive Jesus in your heart? And she's like, what prayer? What are you talking about? It's like, yeah, there's a prayer you do, you receive Jesus in your heart. She's like, I know Jesus in my heart, and the Bible says to get baptized. I just want to get baptized. Like, I know Jesus in my heart. And it wasn't through a prayer. It wasn't through like a specifically well done prayer. It wasn't through, Jesus didn't come through a circumcision. It wasn't this thing that Jesus came through, and all of a sudden right after God is in us and Jesus is in us. It wasn't that. she had already wanted Jesus. And this is the opposite of me. This is the opposite of what I did, because I grew up in Sunday school and I'm like receiving Jesus every week in my heart. I'm like, Jesus, I receive you in my heart. Jesus, I receive you in my heart every week in Sunday school. And so it was completely opposite. But it's like, it wasn't the prayer that made Jesus in our heart. It wasn't that specific prayer, may I say, that specific prayer of salvation that put Jesus in my heart. It was the fact that I believed and had faith. It was the fact that my mom believed and she had faith. And it wasn't this work. It wasn't this specific thing. It wasn't this specific circumcision that made us righteous. And it wasn't that, because we were chosen before that. We were chosen before we did that. So it's not in the work, it's not in this specific thing. And I bring the prayer of salvation because that's the most relevant thing to us today, and not circumcision. We don't go around, asking people, have you been circumcised? Because that means you're a follower of the Jewish God, Yahweh. We don't do that. That's weird. We just don't. But the prayer of salvation is something that's more relevant to us. And I think it's the same concept of, it's something that yes, it confirms it, but it's not what saves you. It's not what makes you righteous. It is the fact that you were chosen before that anyway. So I got stuck here. I got stuck chapter 4. I think it's good. Romans is great. I'm so sad. Honestly, I'm so sad that it's not Romans 8. That's tomorrow. You know what? God bless you guys. I hope this made you think a little bit outside of the box. A little bit of what it is to be righteous. Doing what Paul did. Writing things and making people come out of the box, out of their Jewish box, into seeing that, David's song of the Lord clearing our sin was not only for the Jews. It was God's love to his people. And his people was not just through Abraham. It was to the Gentiles as well, circumcised, uncircumcised. It's the fact that we are chosen and we choose to believe that makes us saved. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have an awesome Saturday. Be blessed. Take care. And love y'all. Peace.